I'll just say after the show.
Start streaming, yes. I believe
I
we're
was just gonna say,
live. We are indeed live.
after
Good
the,
morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to 8 throughout the annals of recorded history. To date, that is, not to 8. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you do not know you have. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and The Great Robot Returns. What she said was the website on thisday.com.
Oh no!
For links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below. And as always, any links gathered throughout the show will appear at some point after the live stream. Like, really depends on, what's going on in my world and all that stuff. But I do get to it eventually, so keep your eyes peeled. And I know that sounds painful. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and who am I joined by?
The lovely Alice of Who.
Ah, yes. And we are expecting the Golden Loon. He dropped off a water bottle on my desk here, so that's kind of his proverbial quarter on the video game machine. You know, I'm next. You know, I'm coming, type thing.
Yeah, you've said two things now funny with play on words. You said annals and that.
All right, and of course the viewer is the viewer. Thank you very much for watching the show. Today is Saturn's Day. Is it Saturday? What is it? Is it Saturday? I don't know. It's Saturday.
It's Tuesday.
Don't do that to me. No, see, like, remember we were talking about this like an hour ago, like how, like, you know, the unemployed and the overemployed, and we both have our different situations of, like, the days just kind of becoming one. It's like, what day is it today? I don't know anymore.
They're all blending.
Like,
they're all blending together, man. I don't even know what.
I mean, we're both sides of the extreme. Like you work literally every day, and well, I guess I do too, self-employed, but like I'm not part of a system like most people. Anyway, December 2nd, 2023. Let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 1409, the University of Leipzig opened. Well, that's pretty cool.
Woo! Can I take 1682?
Yes. I was actually going to take 1620 here, and I'll give you 1682. The English language newspaper Namloos began publishing in Amsterdam. That's pretty cool.
Amsterdam.
But think about it. Amsterdam, they speak Dutch or what, right? Like the Dutch is a language?
I think it's Welsh or
Welsh?
Welsh.
Hold on, so,
I think it's Welsh.
Amsterdam. What
language
it's
Welsh, but I think
Amsterdam?
I think it might be
Dutch. I was right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what country speaks Welsh.
What country speaks the Welsh? Wales. Okay, that makes sense. Wales speak the Welsh.
We're dumb. We're dumb today.
Today?
I'm always dumb.
I'm always dumb. Mine's louder. Anyway.
Yeah, so we have 1682 here. We have the Earl of Shaftesbury. You please. Anthony Ashley Cooper, first Earl of Shaftesbury, flees to Amsterdam following the failure of his plot to prevent a Catholic succession should King Charles II die. Oh, I just want to say Shaft.
Of course you did. But, you want to take this one as well? Like, do you want to do 3 for 3 again or something?
Yeah, I can do this one. 1697, St. Paul's Cathedral, designed by Sir Christopher Wren, is consecrated for use. Previous building destroyed in the Great Fire of London.
Well, let's take a look at what this building was.
Yeah, well, I want to see what the building
that looks pretty. It's like
it
is a cathedral with cathedral-like properties and architecture, and the inside is, of course, gorgeous. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's just something about Catholic churches, how they're so great and grand and beautiful.
Mosques, synagogues, like look at the mosque in Constantinople, or actually Istanbul today. Like it.
Yeah, well, yeah, amazing. Now Istanbul, yeah.
So.
I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. I mean, like the way the architecture was done in the medieval times and stuff, I just find fascinating. Like the flying buttresses that hold up the exterior, like those little like pillars that go up. I just find that amazing that those little like pegs that go up, like little stone, masonry, like will hold up the sides of these buildings so they don't like topple down on their own weight.
It's interesting that you should mention flying buttresses, because later on today we're actually going to be talking about Napoleon Bonaparte getting crowned emperor on the steps of Notre Dame. So that happened on this date later on. Yeah, we're coming up.
Cheese and rice.
Yeah, today a lot of stuff happened on this date. So anyway,
this is pretty wicked, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to move us on up here to 1755. The second Eddystone lighthouse on Eddystone Rocks off English southern coast was destroyed by fire. Well, I mean, I guess stop building a lighthouse there? Question mark.
Well, there's plenty of lighthouses that have burnt down, but there's plenty that's still fine. Like it's just weird that the lighthouse burnt down right by the sea. But then again, they're usually up on high rocks and pillars, so the boats can see them coming in.
So this is the Eddystone Lighthouse here. Oh, you can see the old one, the foundation. They just built another one. Wow.
Yep.
That's kind of scary when you think. Can you imagine like being out there, the lighthouse, and looking down at like the previous one and just like wondering, okay, am I next?
well, there's actually still lighthouses where they still have people manned in them.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's also kind of like lift bridges, like where you'll be manned there for an X amount of period of time, like for lighthouses and that. I think it's technically like lighthouses are technically part of the Coast Guard, I guess, in the United States now, if it's on the ocean.
I'm not entirely sure, but like let me ask this a question because we can't get too far off into the rabbit hole here. But audience, can you figure out what jurisdiction lighthouses fall under if they're not under different jurisdictions based off of different like government mandates of this and that, like things get really complicated. So
yeah, it does. It's same with like fire like watching in like forests, and also lift bridges. I think at least lift bridges on rivers I think partly might be controlled by Coast Guard too. But I could be wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, let's move on up.
We got to move on up. But here, 1763, the Tiro Shoal of Newport, Rhode Island, was dedicated. It is the oldest existing U.S. synagogue. Speaking of, architecture and stuff, let's check out this. That's kind of.
Oh. It's a cute little quaint place.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too extravagant, but it's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of like these grounds are here. Not those grounds. What was the picture I just clicked? Crap.
It happens. Don't worry, buddy. We still love you.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It's just like a plain area, like sparsely decorated, like this.
It's nothing like over the top. It's not like they signed it inside a big gigantic like mansion or anything.
They signed it in Liberty Hall, and it was just like a plain building. Yeah, they were decorated, but it's not like a giant cathedral made of stone. It's contemporary. It's modest. It's modest. It's cool.
I think sometimes like with like architecture, less is more.
Yeah. And like from the outside, like it just looks like some random unassuming house, but that is the oldest synagogue on the continental United States. Like wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
The more you know. Boop boop boop.
Yeah. What else do we got here? In 1802, Britain sold Suriname to the Netherlands. I would say that's not too cash money, but it was financially wise. But it wasn't cool, Buying and selling entire swaths of land with native people there, just like all of a sudden, now you belong to these people. What? Excuse me? I belong to myself. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have a good one here in 1804, buddy.
Yeah, go for it. I actually mentioned it earlier, so you get to talk about it.
Well, actually, why don't you take that? I have to do something here.
All right, 1804, General Napoleon Bonaparte was crowned Emperor of the French at the Notre Dame de Paris in a ceremony officiated by Pope Pius VII. And pardon me, he was inside the cathedral, not on the steps, but still, the Notre Dame was involved, was the point I was making. What else do I have here? 1805, Napoleon defeated the Russians and Austrians at Austerlitz, which I don't really know much about Napoleonic history, but thanks to the recent movie, well, I haven't gotten to see it, but because of all the talks about the recent movie and all the history lessons I've been getting from the reviews I've been watching, Austerlitz is, I believe, one of the greatest battles he ever did. I gotta really brush up on my Napoleonic history and such, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. Literally 1 year after he was crowned emperor, this happened. And then 7 years later, 1812, James Madison was re-elected president of the United States with Elbridge Gerry as vice president. James Madison, 4th U.S. president. Look at that, second term. That's pretty cool. Moving on up to 1813, Prince William Frederick accepted constitutional monarchy. All right. And what is constitutional monarchy? Let's look that up here really quick. So let's see, constitutional monarchy, also known as limited monarchy, parliamentary monarchy, or democratic monarchy, is a form of monarchy. How many times am I going to say monarchy? In which the monarch exercises their authority in accordance with a constitution and is not alone in making decisions. So there is still a king and everything, but he's not the absolute power. You know, that's pretty interesting. Let me add that into these. So, constitutional monarchy. Yeah, I'm gonna go crazy saying that word. What else do we got here? 1816, first savings bank in the U.S. opened, the Philadelphia Savings Fund Society. All right, so it begins. I wonder if this has anything to do with the Rothschilds. 1812, in San Salvador, Congress proposed incorporation into the U.S. So they were believing about actually surrendering themselves to be part of the greater U.S. territories. You know, like how the Philippines were, how Puerto Rico is. D.C. is not, it's not a state; it's a separate entity. You know, and that's our capital, like lording above us as the federal government, which it never should have been doing. But anyway, we just got joined by
the Golden Loon.
Welcome. Better late than never, right?
AKA the laughter.
Yeah, the laughter.
Yeah, I finally made it.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, Alice would.
Is Alice here?
Yeah, she's here, but she's muted. She's doing something. Okay. So, but hey, Papa Dukes, on her behalf.
So, I got it. That's an invitation.
Yeah.
Sort of good.
Anyway, moving on up to 1823, U.S. President James Monroe declared the Monroe Doctrine, opposing European colonialism in the Americas, arguing any European political intervention in the New World would be a hostile act against the United States, which was utilized during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, the Monroe Doctrine has been instrumental in a lot of things, and it's really a huge doctrine, probably one of the most important we have.
But it also basically says that we lay claim to the entire Western Hemisphere of Earth as one section of it, and that's kind of not cool to everybody else, you know?
It is. It is in the fact of sovereign countries, but we're using it as a protectorate.
Yeah, for our interests. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Papa Duke.
Hey, there it is.
How you doing, Alice? Yeah.
There it is. Whoa! Don't mispronoun me, there, buddy.
No, they. My goodness. Here we go.
I'm a person.
No, you're just a disembodied voice.
We're not gonna gender you though.
Well,
no, I'm a ghost. He's trying to say I'm a ghost. But no, that's a crazy thing. Yeah, the Monroe thing.
Yeah.
Like I came in right in time for that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I also just did a shout out for your show, Xander, and for the Edge of Disclosure tonight.
Oh yeah, go Don't forget, Edge of Disclosure guys watching this. We'll talk about it after the But we got to continue on up here. 1840, William Henry Harrison elected the 9th president of the United States of America. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to go.
And here we go, going from, one extremely, powerful policy to another. 1845, U.S. President James K. Polk announced to Congress that the United States should aggressively expand into the West, a widely held belief termed manifest destiny by newspaper editor John O'Sullivan. So we had a manifest destiny by God to go in and take all that land for ourselves.
From who?
The natives.
I kind of find that malarkey, but
that was the idea back then. The whole manifest destiny, belief. is that, oh, move out west, like go out in the frontier, populate, take the land from the, I'm not even going to say what they said back then. Not good, not nice things.
Yeah, no.
Like, so.
No, it's disgraceful
Yeah,
what was the history we have with the Indians. If you want to call them Indians or whatever you want to call them.
Native Americans.
Yeah, there you go. That's
well, I mean, like,
better.
I don't
They're not
know.
Indians.
See, to me, it's not that I'm offended when you call them Indians. I'm just confused because there's actual Indians from India.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, which ones? So it's just like, okay, to alleviate confusion, I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm just trying to be factual. Like, okay, which people are you talking about?
Well, they're called Indians
because it's a misnomer because they thought
they didn't know where the hell they were.
They thought they were in India.
And then we won, so we got to keep the name. What the heck? That's stupid.
No. That's not where it's from at all.
What? Okay.
No. Like, no. When Christopher Columbus was first, he was trying to find another way to India.
Yeah.
So he got here and he thought he was. So he thought they were Indians.
Exactly. And that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said it was being used as a slur because they didn't know otherwise. Okay.
No. I'm just saying we won the war, so therefore we get to keep the name that we gave them incorrectly.
Well, no, I don't think it has something to do with the war. I think it's just a misnomer from the 1400s.
I'm extrapolating.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, whatever. Let's see. What else do we have here? We got the Manifest Destiny one. 1848, Franz Joseph I was proclaimed Emperor of Austria and the King of Hungary, Croatia, and Bohemia at Olmütz after the abdication of his uncle Ferdinand I. Okay. Austria, Hungary,
yeah,
all that stuff.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The more you know, right?
Yeah.
Toot.
And Alice, if you want to read anything, just say so. Otherwise, I'm just going to take them out.
I'll read this one up here for 1851 right here.
All right.
French President Charles Louis Bonaparte, in a coup d'état, overthrows the Second Republic, establishing himself as emperor.
Oh, those Bonapartes, just like one, they all are the same. That's literally what Napoleon did. Like 50 years later.
Sure.
Well, this guy did it 50 years later. Napoleon did it in 1800 whatever. Like what we just talked about. It's on the same date. That has to be intentional.
That's weird.
Yeah. Napoleon did a coup d'état. Because he initially was just like a lieutenant cannoneer or whatever. Like he was some random, and then he somehow got power, overthrew the king, because there was no emperor of France. There was only a king. He overthrew in a coup d'état, proclaimed himself king, and then later on this date, as we said earlier, crowned himself the first emperor of France, and not just of France but of the world. That's why he was going out and conquering things. He was the emperor of the world. And he almost...
As he declared it.
Yeah, well, he almost
Not
was.
everybody agreed.
Well, the entirety of Europe disagreed. But, they weren't doing so well until Napoleon bit off more than he could chew with Russia. He still kicked their teeth in, but, he couldn't continue on, with the winter, and all that stuff. He had to... We actually talked about it yesterday, or recently in a history show, about when he crossed the river on his way back from retreating, and then eventually Waterloo would happen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then 2 years after Waterloo, he would abdicate his emperorcy. So, but here we go again, another Bonaparte. Now, all these Bonapartes. So, you got to keep them apart. Bonaparte? I don't know.
I have a bone to pick.
Yeah. Anyway, 1851. We got that one. 1859. Abolitionist John Brown hanged for murder, treason, and conspiring slaves to revolt at Charlestown, Virginia. Yeah, so this guy, James Brown, there's a whole thing about him that his actions, because he actually fought, I think Lee, like Robert E. Lee himself had to come down because there was like a whole shootout thing going around. He and his posse had barricaded themselves in some armory or whatever. So it was a huge thing. And that could have been the actual spark that started what inevitably would become the Civil War, not Fort Sumter.
I remember something about Sumter was the outcome of whatever was sparking.
Yeah, but this is just when
those were shots fired
because he was an extremist anti-slave, an abolitionist, and he was willing to go to war and kill people so that way, slaves can be freed and slavery can end. He was extreme on the wrong. He was right for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to say,
Okay.
So, like basically the polar opposite of a Klan member,
You may be wrong, but you may be right. In the words of Billy Joel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1867, in the New York City Theater, British author Charles Dickens gave his first public reading in the U.S. Charles Dickens.
Oh, in the U.S.
Yeah, his first one in the U.S. 1882.
He has an interesting way of writing, though. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he has
Say that
interest-
again. What?
He had an interesting way of how he
interesting.
wrote.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, very much.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he still lives
Yeah.
today. His writings
That's why
still
he's
live
still
today.
considered. Yeah, he's still considered one of the best writers to this day. So.
He has an
Anyways,
interesting way of
what's next,
combing his
buddy?
hair.
Oh well, hey, it almost looks like how your hairline looks right now, almost.
Hey, it beats a comb over for the guy.
There we go. Now it's even. Now it's right on the top. No, the sunlight on my screen, it's like
Oh.
eating away, so it looks like my head is like somebody just cut right here with a sword. Anyway, 1882, Amsterdam Artist Zoo opened an aquarium. All right, cool. 1887, International Baseball League disbanded. Teams in Syracuse, Toronto, Hamilton, and Buffalo formed the International Association. Those in Newark, New Jersey, or Jersey City, Wilkes-Barre, and Scranton became the Central League. All right. Do you remember that?
Watch it.
1899, U.S. and Germany agreed to divide Samoa between them. That's an eyebrow raiser right there.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Let's divide them up. Okay.
I mean, I'm not surprised Germany's doing that with their track record, later on after this, but, the U.S., we've always kind of been, shady dealers. So, what the hell are we doing agreeing to divide Samoa? Dude, that is an African nation. We have no sovereignty there. We shouldn't. It's ridiculous. Welcome back,
Oh my
Alice.
gosh. Look at that hairline.
Oh, yeah. Gerhard Hauptmann, yeah. He looks like he's getting... Like somebody just turned on, like, a movie fan, like, right in front of he's like, whoa.
It looks like what Donald Trump looks like if he didn't do his comb over. Yeah. Or like when the sun did that to the top of your head.
Or when you don't comb your face back, is that what he said?
Oh yeah, I comb on Conan O'Brien. He's like, yeah, how do I do my hair? I comb my face back.
Well, Alice, you want to take our first 1900?
Yeah, absolutely. 1900, exiled South African president of Transvaal, Paul Kruger, arrives in Germany, though the Kaiser refuses to meet him.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. He's exiled, and then the leader of the nation he's in doesn't even want to see him. He's like, wow, okay, like, nobody likes me. What did I do?
Well, if he's exiled, it could be...
Well, you know what he didn't do?
Well,
he didn't Gillette the best a man can get.
Yeah, we'll be getting there in a second. I'm trying to figure out what he did.
They let him in the country, that's something.
Well, no, he could have been exiled because, like a freaking, like evil thing happened, and he was actually a good guy.
Idea, yeah.
Oh, Boer Wars. Okay.
The Boer Wars.
Oh, so he was on the wrong side of the Boer Wars. Okay, now I understand. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, also I was saying maybe he could. Well, I also was going to segue in that maybe it's because he didn't Gillette the best a man can get, because it looks like that beard from that picture. It looks like it's a little like there's more hair on one side of the face than the other.
It's just a really weird like Abe Lincoln attempt. So.
Yeah, well, we have in 1901. King C. Gillette begins selling safety razor blades.
Ah.
That's the best the man can get.
123 years.
Yeah.
That's longevity right there.
Ooh. That is. Holy buckets. We also have in 1907 Association of Football Players and Trainers Union, the English Professional Football Players Association, in parentheses there, is formed by Charles Roberts and Billy Meredith in Manchester, England.
Ah, so what we call soccer. Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I played for 9 years.
Pardon me.
Till I did something naughty.
Pardon me again. We have here
Oh, but that's
1908. I'm going to take this one because I want you to take the next one. 1908, Child Emperor Pu Yi ascended the Chinese throne at the age of 2. Woo! Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe there's actually a movie about that actually too.
I believe
I
there
can't remember
is.
the name. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm pretty sure there is. So
Let's see here. Pu Yi movie. Nope, go away. The Last Emperor.
Yeah, The Last
I
Emperor,
think
yep.
that might be it. So let me add that to the movie night, actually. So
yeah,
real quick.
like it's actually not a terrible movie, but you can see like some poor choices done in life. But yeah, it is a good movie.
I've added a few movies like to movie nights. I added one a while ago. Actually, I think I added it to that Einosh. Kundun. Yeah, I want to watch Kundun really, really badly. It's about like there's one scene in it where the Dalai Lama or whatever, like from Tibet, meets with Mao Zedong, and Mao Zedong's all like, "Oh, and this is a Disney movie, mind you." So Mao Zedong's like, "Oh, religion is a poison," yada yada yada, and it's just like, and that was the moment he knew. Because later on, Mao was talking about how, like, the People's Army is coming to liberate the poison from the people, and you'll be safe in this building, over here. That won't be mortared. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So he left, and so it's a really fascinating movie, especially with how Disney is today. Something like this would be blasphemous for them.
Damn.
So.
Hey,
Yeah.
This was actually a very good movie.
Well, Disney's where they at culturally because of, actual good work. But then somewhere down the line, they decided to take their stance and start using it as...
They decided to make some bad choices.
Well, really bad choices. Anyway, Alice, take this 1909.
Yeah, I will take this 1909. But by the way, I hear the CEO of Disney is stepping down next year.
Yeah, stepping down again, right? Bob Iger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Iger, he's stepping down.
He's just like,
so
you know
1909.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna read the 1909. We could actually talk about in the peanut tomorrow if we want. Just add that in while I read this out. So 1909, we have National Hockey Association, the NHA, is formed in Montreal. Original members include Montreal Wanderers and the Montreal Canadiens. It becomes the NHL after some NHA teams leave due to ownership disagreements and create their own league.
Answer my question before I asked it.
Yeah, the NHL lives on to this day.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, still tried and true. Good old hockey,
For the sake of time, I'm going to start belting some things out here. 1913, we have French government of Louis Barthou fell due to overtime conscription. So they kept soldiers there. This was one of the major concerns during the American Revolution, is that and they portrayed it in the Patriots, is that your conscription or your sign on your thing is coming up. Are you going to stay and fight, or are you going to go back home? Like we can't pay you. You're not contractually obligated. So right there, overtime and conscription, the soldiers, wanted to cash in their chips, and the government just fell.
Yeah.
That's really scary. And that was one of the factors that might have cost us the war, is just not being able to. And what's crazy is that the whole war was all about one of the main things was no taxation without representation and all that stuff.
Yeah.
People don't like taxes. Immediately right after war, there's taxes to pay for the war debt. It's like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So.
Or like how I think we did talk about it in the peanut. We'll talk about that another time. It's not a big deal. Let's keep going.
1916, the National Baseball Commission ordered that injured players get full pay for duration of their contracts. Injury clause previously let clubs suspend players after 15 days pay. Wow.
Jeez.
You got a contract then if you don't obligate it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the same argument can be made today. People, they need the job, they need the money, so they sell a little bit of their soul in order to pursue their dreams. You know?
Yeah, well, that happens in all kinds of things.
And as the saying goes,
Some of the rock and rollers, what kind of contracts they sold when they were nothing.
Yeah.
Because they
Seems like a lot of people out on the West Coast.
Well, I want to say like a really fascinating saying I heard like not too long ago. If you don't sacrifice everything for your dreams, then your dreams become what you sacrifice. So
that's actually a good saying, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But but at the same time, it's like
yeah, like if everything falls down, then you're screwed. So, but always have a plan B. There's also that the addendum, you know.
Have a contingency plan.
Exactly, I sure do.
What's your fallback?
Yep. Anyway, moving on up to 1917 here, Han Yong-woon found Zen awakening at Osean Monastery, Korea. So that's pretty cool. I was talking about when you mentioned, like, was it 2% of the world's population, or, you know, if it started meditating or something like that?
10%.
10%.
Yeah.
That is a lot of people, though.
That was the Maharishi Misha Yoga for transcendental meditation.
What's 10% of 8 billion? 8,000? 80,000?
800 million.
800 million? Holy crap, dude.
I think, no, that may be 2
Yeah, actually, like, have you ever heard of noetic science?
I have
this
not.
This is something we actually talk about in noetic science.
You're getting robot-y.
And,
Getting robot-y.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the freaking, why can't I remember this thing's name? Oh, damn it, come on.
It's basically like how, like,
the thumping
it's basically
curl.
like how some things happen unless they're not observed.
Fibonacci
but if you look
sequence,
at them,
that's
not.
what this is, the Fibonacci. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going for tubular.
Yeah,
dude.
well, Dan
No.
Brown, the author, he actually wrote about this.
Say it
And
again,
actually,
what was the
noetic science, they say that based off of, if you send out good energy and it's a lot at a time, it can affect it can affect things around you.
Yeah, I truly believe that.
So, yeah, so actually we should talk about that in Edge of Disclosure tonight, a little bit of
And
the
a good
noetic
example
science.
of that is gang, not gang, but what I'm trying to say was a big group of people and they start going crazy. Crowd or gang mentality.
Yeah.
You know, it'll start contaminating everybody.
Yep.
You're not thinking something you normally wouldn't do. All of a sudden you're doing.
Yeah, no, like I looked up noetic sciences, Alice, and I saw the Fibonacci sequence here. And to answer the Loon's question, because he's like, "Oh, what is this?" The limits of the squares of successful in the Fibonacci numbers create a spiral known as the Fibonacci spiral. It follows turns by a constant angle that is very close to the golden ratio. As a result, it is often called the golden spiral, Levy 121. So, like, it's something like like a snail shell.
Yeah.
It is a mathematical something or other in nature that is prevalent in ways that you don't even see. It is the way of the universe. Like the spiral of the galaxy, the spiral of the solar system, like everything is a spiral.
Yep.
So,
And also, I believe, I have a theory here too, that like the way, like the kind of energy that people give off, I believe it goes off in a spiral, like Fibonacci sequence. Thus, the whole noetic science thing.
Yeah,
There's a whole
let's talk
thing
about that. Let's talk about
let's
that
talk
tonight.
about that.
Let's talk about that tonight.
That
Like
sounds
I
nice
want
to
to.
talk about.
Absolutely, this is a
Very
good one.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that actually to where is it? Bear with us, audience. I know we're kind of like dragging our feet a little bit here. I'm gonna have to start belting out some articles. Where the hell is it?
Yeah, well,
there it is.
I can read off a few while you're doing it,
I
but
got
if
it.
you want.
Let's see here. 1924, British-German trade agreement was signed. Okay. And
there we
1927,
go.
the first Model A Ford was sold for only $385.
Woohoo!
Only you could find a car that price nowadays.
Well, what is $385 in 1927? Let's look that up here really quick.
Still nothing compared to what they are today.
Probably about
$6,000.
Oh, gee, wait, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, it's nothing. What else do we got here? 1927, paleoanthropologist Davidson Black announced to the Geological Society of China that ancient human fossils from Zhuangdian, China, are new species which he names Sinanthropus pekinensis, or the Peking Man, now known as Homo erectus. So, like one of the major, things. There's Homo sapien,
So
Homo erectus, which is when we first started standing up on our hind legs, rather than using all 4 limbs as propulsion. Then Homo sapiens, and us today, Homo sapiens sapiens. So.
Xander, I just for a second had a really bad thought, and I thought that was half duck, half man.
Alice. We gotta put you into a room.
I was trying to make a bad joke there.
You know what? I say that joke is rather foul.
Oh. Yeah, you got him started. See? You got him started, Alice.
Well done, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to pay me, you can put it on my bill.
Geez, here we go.
Anyway, 1929, first skull of the Peking man found in the caves of Zhugedan, 50 kilometers outside of Peking in China. Later dated roughly 750,000 years old. Here we go, more duckmen. So, quacky quack. Oh, wait a minute. Donald Duck!
No! Oh my God, stop with the ducks.
We're going to build a well.
You're quacking me up.
Oh man, we're just laying an egg.
It's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
1932, Australia ended day 1 of controversial bodyline cricket series versus England at 290/6 in Sydney. Stan McCabe, 127 no, finishes at 187 no. Notorious England fast bowler Harold Larwood took 4 wickets. England won by 10 wickets. Okay. I mean, I don't know what the hell that means, but I mean, controversial bodyline. I mean, somebody knows out there. Somebody out there eventually will be happy that we covered this, and whoever that one person is, you're welcome. So
give us some cricket knowledge.
Yeah. Cricket
hey,
wireless?
can I take one here?
You take this.
All right.
Oh, this one's nice.
Yeah.
Not nice. Yikes.
Oh, gosh.
It's not nice. It's not nice.
So we got 1938 first kinder transport carrying Jewish refugee children from the Nazi Germany arrives in Britain.
Oh, that is nice. Well,
what's wrong with that?
It is nice.
Well, it's not nice because it's the Holocaust, but
Yeah,
it's nice because they're being rescued.
Yeah.
That was
The refugees.
okay.
Yeah, they were sent from Nazi Germany, the area. Well, maybe not technically. It couldn't be particularly just actually Germany. It could have been from France, Poland, any of the occupying areas that Nazi Germany was occupying.
Do we know what year the Nazis started rounding up the Jews?
I don't really want to go down that
1930s.
rabbit hole. That's just darkness.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
no, that's fine.
That was
I
like
would
the
say
1930s.
36, maybe earlier.
You're right.
But
Let's
I
don't
don't
go
know.
there. Let's just
1939, New York's LaGuardia Airport began operations as an airliner from Chicagolands 1 minute after midnight. Chicago. In 1941, U.S. mobster Louis Buchadler was sentenced to death along with his lieutenants Emmanuel Wace and Louis Capone. I wonder if did Al Capone have a brother?
I have no idea.
Louis Capone. Let's look him up
Dude,
here.
Looks like him.
Well, no,
Louis
that
Capone.
picture of him there, buddy, he looks a little happy before, for that picture. You're sentenced to death, but you're like, hey.
I don't think that was the picture they took when they sentenced him to death, Alice.
No, I know,
I'm
obviously.
going to the chair.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I just find it funny the website, use
wow.
that for...
Talk about a stereotype. He was electrocuted at Sing Sing prison.
Sing Sing, eh?
Sing Sing. Like the whole, the old Looney Tunes saying, oh, I'm going to Sing Sing. Oh, boo-hoo. It's a... Louis Capone. I should have been adding a little bit more links, I believe. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1941, Japanese Marshal Admiral Yamamoto sent his fleet to Pearl Harbor. So, they're coming.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, this isn't December 7th.
No, but 5 days.
Yeah, they're coming, yeah.
We have 5 days.
Nope.
So.
But it's coming. It's coming quick.
Yeah.
Sure is.
So we're going to hear a lot about that in the next days in history.
Alice, why don't you take this one? It's quirky and weird, just like you.
Thank you. 1941, the largest roller skating rink outside of New York City opens in Peekskill, New York.
Yeah.
Why
Pretty
is that
cool.
noted?
But so roller skating.
Yeah,
So roller skating.
Yeah. Outside of New York City, so it's not the largest. It's the largest one outside of New York City. So,
Dude, you know what's really funny is I actually been finding these shorts of people roller skating, and like the roller skating rinks are coming back again.
huh? Well, disco's coming back. Bell bottoms might be coming back. Greek Alley and I have this conversation every now and then. Like, he's saying a lot of 70s trends and attitudes and whatnot slowly coming back in the general populace. So, like, now he's like,
Yeah,
he's walking around in his,
okay.
really sharp collar shirt and everything, being a trendsetter because he knows what's coming. With his bell bottoms.
Well, everybody wants, like, the... Oh, go ahead.
1941, we got that one. We also have New York Giants named Mel Otts as player manager, replaced another future Baseball Hall of Famer, Bill Terry, who headed the Giants farm system. Yeah. Farm system, what does that mean? Giants farm system?
That's the minor leagues.
Oh, okay. All right. 1941, as well, the U.S. Naval Intelligence ceased bugging Japanese consul. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1942, world's first self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction occurs in Chicago Pile 1, the world's first nuclear reactor, at the University of Chicago, overseen by Enrico Fermi, and this was actually in the movie Oppenheimer.
I'm trying to remember.
Yep.
It was.
I'm rolling back as I go.
So let's see here. Let me bring up just
That's
images.
such a great movie.
Oh God,
I need
yeah.
to see it again. You know that?
It was.
I
like the back and forth. I like
IMAX.
IMAX. That was super.
Yeah, that was an experience. So no, right here. Remember this scene right here? Let's see if I can bigger this image. Open image, a new tab. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
remember this when they were like building this huge?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that they're building. That's what all these are in order to bump the ions or whatever, back and forth to sustain it. They're building it and. It happened in the complex he was teaching at in Chicago. Remember next door they did it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta see that.
You can only do so much with theory.
I gotta see that again.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So and Fermi, he was right there. He was in the movie, and he was he was the guy with that whole thing, and he asked him if he wanted to help him build it. He's like, oh no, I'm only in theory. I'm not in practical.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Hey,
line.
Xander.
Yeah.
I remember that line precisely.
Hey,
Yeah.
Xander.
Yeah. What up?
Hey, do you think that they, because they're not going to tell us if they really did, do you think that the, cold fusion has actually been 100, fully been done yet?
That is a conversation for the edge of disclosure. Has cold fusion been perfected? All right, let's figure that out later on tonight. We got to move on up here. 1943, the first RSHA, the Reich. I'm not even going to try to read it. Nazi Reich Security Head Office transport out of Vienna reaches Birkenau camp. And if anybody is mad that I butchered that, well, it's about Nazis, so I don't give a damn. Screw those people.
The Reich Security.
Whatever the hell. Venus did so. 1944, General de Gaulle arrived in Moscow. Now that was interesting. Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah.
The French.
Yeah.
1944.
De Gaulle.
Arriving in Moscow.
Badass.
Yeah.
But when you think of Allied leaders going to Moscow, okay, you think of Roosevelt. You think of
de Gaulle had to be at that time 44.
Yeah.
Had to be in exile.
Oh
yeah. The Germans.
No.
When did the Germans conquer France?
No. They did. They invaded France in 1940, but June 6th has already passed this year in 1944, and that's D-Day. So France has been liberated, I believe.
Well,
June 6, 1944, and this is in 1944, and we are in December now, and equivalency of 1944. June 6 has already happened, so France hasn't already been fully liberated. It's very close.
In 6 months, they liberated France?
Well, you know what? Let's look it up. When was France liberated? World War II. There we go. August 19th, 1944. It already happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Quicker than that.
He's over there talking to the Germans, see what
not the Germans, the
Russians.
Russians.
The Russians, I mean, yeah.
No, but see, what I'm saying is, okay, it's not that it's, what's surprising me is that Charles de Gaulle, because like France was just busy like trying to rebuild, while the U.S. and England and the rest of the Allies were really
continuing on.
Yeah. I mean, not saying France didn't send soldiers. I don't know.
They didn't have any to speak of.
Well,
they were all conquered.
There's that too.
They're part of the liberation.
So like I'd expect like Roosevelt, Patton, Eisenhower, Montgomery, like any of the other like non-French people. It's just surprising me.
I doubt if he's elected by that time, but he was certainly a leader of France. Probably a designated leader just to get them back on their feet.
Well, De Gaulle was leader.
What you do is go and talk
De Gaulle was leader of the
leaders.
French government in exile on the British Isles.
Yeah.
So he already was a leader.
Yeah. So that's what I would expect him to do, is go talk to all the world leaders.
Yeah, I never heard about that. It's pretty cool, So, anyway, 1948, after one of the best seasons in baseball history, St. Louis Cardinals utility Stan Musial is named National League MVP, leading the NL in batting average .365, runs 135, RBI 131, hits 230, doubles 46, triples 18, and slugging .702 with 39 home runs. I understood half of that, and that is amazing. Like, on both accounts, and I understood some of that, and what I understood I know is really good. So
many years later, probably in the 70s, maybe the 80s, the Dodgers had a ball player, and his first name was Stan.
Huh.
They nicknamed him Stan the Man Unusual. Unusual.
Unusual, yeah. Hey, Alice, you want to take this one? I hear you hooting and hollering over there.
Yeah. I said, ooh. I was like, 1950, I, Robot, a collection of sci-fi short films by Isaac Asimov. It's published by Gnome Press in the U.S. Now, I, Robot, like, if people don't know, like, there's that one Will Smith movie of I, Robot.
I did not murder
This
him.
is a depiction. I did not murder him! Yeah,
Is that
like...
what the movie's based on, his book?
Yes.
Isaac's book?
Yes.
It's based off of it, like, but not like completely. So I mean, but it's a bunch of short. It's sci-fi short stories. So they're short.
Well,
not short films,
that.
but yeah, that's where it came from.
Yep. 1950 here, South African World Bantamweight boxing champion Vic Tawil set a record for knockdowns in a title fight against Englishman Danny Sullivan in Johannesburg. Ooh, wow, Danny Sullivan. Sullivan floored 14 times in 10 rounds before the fight stopped. Wow, he knocked down the Dan. Wow.
Yeah, and Johannesburg is in South Africa, right?
Well, yeah, but you know who Dan Sullivan is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy, on the poster
Danny?
doing this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, I know who Danny Sullivan is.
Way at the end of his career.
Yeah, so that's probably the only reason why he got away with that. Anyway, 1951 future pro football. I know, right? Future Pro Football Hall of Fame wide receiver Don Hudson has his number 14 jersey retired by the Green Bay Packers. Hey, Alice's team. First number retired.
Hey, whoa!
Just couldn't let it go, could you?
Fuck you.
You missed it yesterday. You missed it yesterday. I was introducing Alice to a new member in the server, and I'm like, oh, Alice is from Wisconsin. And,
he
I was letting
me.
it simmer all this time, and then boom. The art of the joke.
Well played, buddy. Well played.
I am an evil mastermind. Haha! I just need a handlebar in my mustache so I can twiddle
You're
it
Are you
fiendishly.
are you trying to say you're Mega Mind?
No, I'm not that. I have a small head.
Whiplash.
Yes, and his faithful dog Muttley. Anyway, what else we got here? 1951 as well. The Philadelphia Eagles set NFL record of 25 first downs, rushing in 35-21, a win over the Washington Redskins at Griffith Stadium. Hey, speaking of
the Commanders, I believe.
Yeah.
The Washingtons, you mean?
The Washingtons. 1952, the first human birth televised to public on KOA TV, Denver, Colorado. I'm glad I didn't tune in. I don't want to see that. It's a miracle, yes, but, I don't want to bear witness to it. Thank you.
Who does?
Some people do,
Well, I know some people do. Yeah.
Some people actually have the ability to appreciate it for what it is. I'm just squeamish. It's just fluids and... 1954, U.S. Senate censors Joseph McCartney, who is a senator, Republican, Wisconsin. Hey. For conduct that tends to bring Senate into dishonor or disrepute. Alice, I didn't even say anything this time.
I know. Just
just
the way
said,
you
hey.
said Wisconsin. It's like you didn't have to say anything to insinuate it.
But conduct that tends to bring Senate into dishonor and disrepute. That's a pretty bold statement right there.
That's
so wow,
it's a little intense.
1957, the first U.S. large-scale nuclear power plant for peacetime use opened at Shipping Port in Pennsylvania.
Why did you skip Castro?
I did not.
Good old Pennsylvania.
Oh well, he just landed whatever,
Yeah. But in the beginning, we supported him.
All right. Well,
for the landing and the invasion.
1956, Fidel Castro landed with Grandma on the coast of Cuba. You know what? I'll add that. Why not? Let's see here. Copy. 1956. All right. So and it's added permanently because that is interesting. I want to look. Who's Grandma? So but we don't have the time on today's show to do that. Let's see, 1957 as well, Pacific Coast League franchises forced to relocate when Dodgers and Giants confirmed their move to California for 1958 MLB season. Hollywood Stars moved from LA to Salt Lake City, LA Angels moved to Spokane, and San Francisco Seals transferred to Phoenix. Wow, everybody's moving everywhere.
Well, they had major league teams. Yeah, I remember I never went to a Hollywood Stars game, but I certainly went to the Los Angeles Angels minor leagues.
Yeah.
In Wrigley Field, believe it or not.
Wrigley Field.
LA had a Wrigley Field.
Oh, did they sell the chewing gum?
Yeah, that same Wrigley.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Nice. 1958, Benelux Treaty signed in Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Okay. If anybody knows more about that, please let us know in the comment section. I'd love to look it up, but I have no time. 1959, Malpasset Dam collapsed, destroying French Riviera town of Fréjus. Ooh. That sounds like a destruction of culture. The French Riviera. That's where a lot of people go, for honeymoons and whatnot, 1960, paleoanthropologist Louis Leakey, what a name, Leakey.
Yeah.
Discovered 1.5 million year old Homo erectus, Olividae hominid 9, in Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania. Now we're getting a lot of ancient humans and stuff today.
That discovery that was called I forget the name.
The Peking Man, half duck, half human.
What?
The Peking Man.
Is that what it is?
The earlier one?
Half duck.
Oh no, the one he discovered, Homo erectus.
Yeah, but they named it something.
Olduvai hominid 9.
Okay, move on.
1961, Fidel Castro declares he's a Marxist and will lead Cuba to communism. So I didn't skip him; I just had him later.
Yeah.
So. And this one's not even highlighted. What a surprise from a leftist source.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they even put this up here. They'd probably try to sweep that under the rug. 1961 as well, when Bell Journal of San Francisco Zen Center began publishing. All right. 1963, first Dutch rocket launched, reached a height of 10 kilometers. The Dutch now have rockets.
How about that?
That's pretty cool. 63, MLB Rules Committee banned oversized catcher's mitts, rule effective only in 1965. And, you got to catch the ball,
Yeah.
You don't want to waste time fumbling around for it. Oh, they chased the ball. I couldn't catch it because the committee didn't want me to have a catchable mitt. 1968, U.S. President Richard Nixon named Henry Kissinger security advisor. And interesting that this should pop up. Henry Kissinger died 3 days ago at the age of 100.
Yeah, I think it was 99.
No, he was 100.
Oh, what did he make it?
Died November 29th, 2023, age 100.
Okay, yeah, he did just make it. I forget which way it was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I looked it up. So he hit 100, and
he did some amazing things, and unfortunately, like China, didn't work out well for us.
Yeah, well, that was his plan. So.
What do you mean that was his plan?
Look at his nationality. The Operation Paperclip, the enemies utilized us to get in and destroy us from the inside. So, what else do we got here? 1969, Boeing 747 jumbo jet first public preview, Seattle to New York City. So all the way back then, pretty big airplane. 1970, Environmental Protection Agency began in the U.S. under Director William Ruckelshaus, and so it begins. The EPA.
Yeah.
EPA! EPA! If anybody saw the recent Simpsons movie from 5 years ago or whatever it was, the EPA came in and put a whole dome over the dang Springfield. 1971, space probe, Soviet space probe Mars 3 was the first to soft land on Mars. Like, you know what that it means? Like, not hard land, but
right. Soft land.
Yeah.
Don't crash.
1971 as well. Terrestrial states Abu Dhabi, Ajman, Dubai, Fujairah, Sharjah, and Al Kuwait from the United Arab Emirates formed the United Arab Emirates and declared independence from the United Kingdom. All right. So this is the birth of the UAE.
Yeah.
And this ties into it. Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan was appointed president of the United Arab Emirates. So there you go.
Yeah. Definitely ties in.
Yep. 1972, December Giant, the largest sinkhole in the U.S., collapsed. It was located in Alabama.
What is that?
It's the largest sinkhole.
Sinkhole, okay.
Yeah. Like, wow, that's big. Holy crap, dude. Look at the size of that thing.
I wonder what the diameter across of the thing is.
Alright, well, let's see here. Largest sinkhole. Sinkhole measures 425 feet long, 350 feet wide, and 150 feet deep.
Ooh. Yeah.
So 425 long, 350 wide, deep. That's a big hole. Yeah. 1973.
And that's just like that's just a sinkhole, right?
Yeah. It's just a sinkhole.
Why? Longer than a football field.
Yikes.
Yay.
Yeah. Out in Alabama.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to move to Florida. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't want the earth to swallow me, regardless of me moving out of freaking earthquake country. So I'm trying to get away from that. Yeah.
You're not gonna always trade something crappier for another thing.
I'd rather get sucked up into the sky than fall into the earth, because at least then my body can be recovered. So 1972, USC tailback Anthony Davis became the first to score 6 touchdowns against Notre Dame in a 45-23 victory over the Fighting Irish. Davis at the LA Coliseum. He scored on runs of 1, 4, 5, and 8 yards and 2 kickoff returns.
Yeah, he was a great one.
We also have 1973, Capitol Center and U.S. Air Arena opened in Landover, Maryland. NBA's Washington Bullets defeated the Seattle Supersonics 98-96 in the opening game. The arena was later demolished in 2002. That's sad.
You notice the Washington Bullets have also changed their name from Bullets.
Oh, that's not surprising. Yeah, I was just like, I don't remember that. Like, what are they now?
Washington Capitals, I think.
Oh, the Capitals. That explains it.
I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, they're just like
just
washing away our history, little bit by little bit, just like an erosion.
Hold on, I didn't hear you, Alice. What was that?
No, Papa Dukes, I was devastated when they tore down the Met Center in Minnesota for the North Stars. Because that just made it real that, like, oh, they're gone to Texas and never coming back.
Yeah.
Our hockey team.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that must have been serendipitous for Mom, because she followed the Dodgers when they were in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And then they essentially followed her out here.
Yeah.
So. No, she was born and raised in Brooklyn. And then eventually she found her way out into like Vegas, and then eventually in California, and then somewhere around the same time.
Actually, she's in California, then Vegas.
Oh well, okay. Well, anyway, at somewhere around that same time, the Dodgers went from Brooklyn to out here in LA. So.
Yeah. Well, I always remember them as the Brooklyn Dodgers, but like when I hear them like say like the LA Dodgers, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, it's Brooklyn.
No,
man.
The team name that really makes me want to throw up is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. What? Pick a city.
Oh.
You know? Like, LA just wanted to shoehorn their name in there, whatever it took, you know?
No, you know the reason for that was?
Is that a new thing?
They have a Hispanic owner, and they wanted to keep the recognizability of LA.
Oh, yeah, they were using it for marketing, that's right.
In Mexico,
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we got to speed things up here. 1974, MLB Rules Committee changed longtime philosophy to permit the use of cowhide rather than just horsehide in the manufacture of baseballs. Huh. So they're using horse skin to make baseballs. That's...
I'm surprised it was that late.
Whoa.
Huh. I did not know that. 1975, Laos King Sizavang Vatatha resigned. Laos People's Democratic Republic founded. National Day. Once again, once you start getting words like People's Democratic Republic, you know, coinciding with each other like that starts, being concerning.
Look out.
Yeah. 1976, communist revolutionary Fidel Castro became president of Cuba, replacing Osvaldo Dorotales Torado. And that was 1976. Yeah, once again, it's not highlighted. Look at that. Hey, what a surprise from a leftist source. 1977, first day of the World Series cricket at VFL Park in Melbourne. Barely 200 people see Australia dismissed for 256 by West Indies, so only 200 people went to see it. So even in a
that
place,
surprises me.
Yeah, well,
where did they find 250 people?
No, not even 250. Barely 200.
Oh, barely 200.
Because the score was 250.
Oh, okay.
6. By West Indies, Ray Bright top scored with 69. Michael Holding captures 4 wickets and Andy Roberts 3. WI goes on to win first. WSC tests by 3 wickets. Whatever that means, if you understand it, good for you. Yeah. 1979, crowds attacked U.S. Embassy in Tripoli, Libya. That is concerning. Yeah. While that was going on, Foots Walker became the first Cleveland Cavalier to score a triple-double. All right. 1980, 4 U.S. Maryknoll nuns were killed by death squads in El Salvador. Yikes. Well, just, people roaming around just killing people, 1981, pitcher Fernando Valenzuela, not Venezuela, became 3rd consecutive LA Dodgers player to be named National League Rookie of the Year. Rick Schuetcliffe in 1979 and Steve Howe in 1980, in that order, preceded each other and him. So
yeah, we had Venezuela mania in LA.
Valenzuela.
Yeah.
Not Venezuela.
Valenzuela. Fernando Valenzuela.
Valenzuela. Yeah. Some hard name to say. I'm not correcting you. I'm just trying to say it myself. 1981, Spanish government requests membership of NATO. Okay. 1982, first permanent artificial heart successfully implanted. U of Utah, so University of Utah, and retired dentist Barney Clark lived 112 days with the Jarvik 7 heart. That's kind of sad. It wasn't that long, but hey, it kept him ticking for another 112 days. First permanent artificial heart, 1982.
Other than contributing to science, what kind of life did you really have for 112 days?
Yeah. 1982 as well, U.S. track and field record holder Steve Scott set record for fastest round of golf played on a regulation course. Posts a 95, completing 18 holes in 29 minutes, 33.05 seconds at Miller Golf Club in Anaheim, California.
Yeah. Hey,
he only used 2 clubs and ran between the holes.
Oh, man.
Hey, back then they didn't have video games. Speedrunners had to take it to the field. They had to go outside and touch grass. 1984, Miami quarterback Dan Marino broke NFL single-season touchdown pass record when he threw his 37th in the Dolphins' 45-34 loss to the Raiders. Finished season with 48 touchdown passes. That's really good.
Yeah, it is.
And, we're going to be talking about him again here in a minute. But first, 1985, Chicago Bears, the Bears, head coach Mike Ditka and defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan almost come to blows at halftime in a 38-24 loss to the Miami Dolphins at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Chicago's only loss of the NFL season. And then here in 1985 as well, NFL quarterback legends Dan Marino and John Elway of the Denver Broncos, so the Dolphins and the Broncos, face each other for the first time in a 30-26 win for Mariano's Miami Dolphins, 390 yards with 3 touchdowns. That must have been a hell of a game to watch. Dan Marino versus John Elway. Woo! I'm not even a football fan, and I'm excited about that. 1988, Naked Gun movie based on TV's Police Squad premiered. I didn't know that they were a show, or didn't really realize
based on a
show,
TV show.
Yeah, Police Squad.
I didn't know that either, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've seen, it's like, blah, 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 Police Squad, but that's what they're called in the movie, so I'm not sure if it's... Because I've seen clips that I don't recognize from the movie, and I believe now that they were actually from the show.
Oh, okay.
But, they just made a feature-length movie.
You're already way ahead of me.
Yeah.
So. I barely remember... I did see Naked Gun, and long ago, I can't remember much of it.
Yeah, there's, Naked Gun, Naked Gun Part 2, Naked Gun 3 1/3,
Naked
stuff like...
Gun and a half or something.
Yeah, 2.5 or something.
2.5, whatever,
Yeah, rest in peace, Leslie Nielsen. Great actor. Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
He took on a comedic role that no one had never seen him in before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Airplane, and all this great stuff. Anyway, 1988, ESPN aired its 10,000th edition of SportsCenter, ba-na-na, na-na-na, making it the most televised cable program in history. And I've not seen an episode 1 of SportsCenter, but I still know the jingle. Thank you, Scrubs.
Yeah.
1988 as well, STS-27 Atlantis was launched. It was a secret military mission. And I kind of want to talk about the secret space shuttle at some point. Anyway, 1988 as well, UN voted 151-2, and the 2 were Israel and the U.S. Why are we voting, why are we the only ones, voting with them? The rest of the world is opposed or whatever. To move PLO debate to Geneva, Great Britain abstained. So Great Britain didn't even vote. So, this is what I've been saying. What's going on with this? It's
okay. Well, I don't know anything beyond that. It was a good or bad thing. I have no idea.
Well, I don't know either as well. I'm just saying, why is nobody else voting with us? Why are we the only two? What's happening?
I don't know.
That's weird. Anyway, 1990, the first parliamentary election in newly reunified Germany. Why can't I word today? Hey, reunified Germany. The collapse of the Soviet Union.
Big.
Yeah.
Huge.
I was 3 years old. So,
yeah.
Going on 4. 1990 as well. First time 12 people were in space at the same time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
1981, Australia routed India by 10 wickets in the first cricket test in Brisbane. First test to be officiated by a match referee. Former England captain MJK Smith does the honors.
Cricket again?
No, but no. First test to be officiated by a match referee. So before that, they didn't have referees?
I can't tell you a thing about cricket. I have no idea.
I loved your face. I can't tell you a thing about cricket. Anyway, 1991, former Pittsburgh Pirates outfielder Bobby Bonilla became the highest paid player in MLB when he agreed to a record $29 million 5-year deal with New York Mets. And nowadays they wipe their butt with stuff like that. So, ridiculous.
They're insulted.
Yeah. 1992, Kiwi opening batsman John Wright became the first New Zealander to make 500 runs in Test cricket when he scored 14 in the second innings of the drawn first Test against Sri Lanka and and the loon was literally hitting his forehead on the desk. Oh my God! I did not. I would. I love you. I'm not intentionally torturing you.
Of course not.
But it's
I
fun.
can't believe that.
It's still fun. And man, dude, I thought yesterday's show was great. 1993, Houston Rockets scored a 94-85 win over the Knicks at New York's Madison Square Garden, recording their 15th straight win to start the season, tie Washington Capitals' all-time NBA record, 1948-49 streak ends next game. Be careful next time when you do that. There's a corner here. You can actually damage yourself. I
don't
need you walking around looking like Harry Potter. The scar on your forehead,
Oh, God.
Okay, I got that one here. 1994, Cobb, and I did not know this, and I actually want to see this. A film about baseball player Ty Cobb, starring Tommy Lee Jones, premiered. I had no clue.
Never heard of it.
No, not a clue. Tommy Lee Jones about Ty Cobb. I have got to see this. So in 1994,
you, a non-baseball player, want to see that?
As a historian, and Tommy Lee Jones, he's a pretty cool actor.
Yeah. No, I love a lot of movies he's in.
Yeah. So, he was a general in the Captain America.
Oh.
During the World War II time of Captain America.
Yeah.
He was the.
That's the only one I saw. I don't remember much about it though.
Where's movie night? There you are.
That's the one where he became Captain America, right?
Yes, the first one.
Yeah.
So.
Where he's a skinny little guy. And
He
zapped him.
Yeah. He was the guy he was the guy who said, "Oh, first one to get the flag gets a ride down," and he unplugged or he dislocated the flag pole and then knocked it down and got the flag and got a ride instead of having to run back down. I remember too much ridiculous things. Anyway, 1994, jury found Heidi Fleece guilty of running a call girl ring. Yikes. 1995, Montreal Canadiens coach Mario Tremblay left goaltender Patrick Roy in the game for too long, allowing an embarrassing 9 goals in an 11-1 rout by Detroit Red Wings. Roy demanded a trade, move to Colorado Avalanche, and win the Stanley Cup that season. Whoops! Wow, so even the player knew, like, you screwed up, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm going to go to somebody who knows how to play me right. So, that can sound very weird and out of context. 1997, for only the second time in English Football League history, 5 players are sent from the field. 4 Bristol Rovers players and 1 from Wigan are dismissed by the Division II match at JJB Stadium. 4 of the red cards come in 45th minutes. 4 of the red cards. Wow.
A red card's when you get
penalized. Red card. Yeah, that's not good.
Yellow card's a warning.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen the video of a football ref coming up and giving somebody a yellow card, and then that soccer player pulls out an Uno reverse card? No, you. It's great. Oh, it's great. Let's see here. 1999, the United Kingdom devolved political power in Northern Ireland to the Northern Ireland Executive. So removing more Irish autonomy and everything. Ireland needs to be free. More than what it is. All of Ireland. But Britain really just wants to really hold tight to the last vestiges of what they have left of their empire. Ireland and Scotland, the first 2 to fall. The last 2 to stand. Let's see here. 2001. Here we go. Enron filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the Southern District of New York. 2001. That was major. And why is that not highlighted? That is major.
California over so bad. Oh man.
And who was involved with that? Martha Stewart, right?
I don't know about that. I've never heard that before.
No, somebody was involved with the whole Enron. They did insider trading, and then that's why Martha Stewart went to prison.
Put in prison for inside trading, but I don't know if it was Enron.
I believe it was. Oh, hold on a second. Was Martha Stewart involved in Enron? The Martha Stewart verdict, was Martha Stewart involved in insider trading? I'm clone shares, yada, yada, yada. Oh, okay, I'm not saying anything involving Enron.
I don't think it was. I don't even think the times were the same.
Okay. Well, then I swear somebody, some big name.
Well, it could have been, yeah.
What celebrity was involved with Enron? Or maybe I'm just remembering things different because I was still a kid. Okay, I'm not seeing. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just remembering Mandela effect. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, moving on up to more 2001. Tony Fernandez's company Toon Air Student bought the heavily indebted Air Asia for $1 MYR, which was about 26 cents US dollars at the time. Wow. For the price of a gumball, he bought an entire company. An air company, Air Asia.
Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta be an idiot to buy an airline these days, I'll tell you.
2002, a new climate-controlled vault to conserve and display the Sarajevo Haggadah illuminated manuscript C-1350, dedicated at Sarajevo's National Museum.
I don't know what that is.
Sarajevo, that's some nation or something.
Yeah, Sarajevo, of course.
So let's see here. Let's look that up. Manuscript. Oh, this one. Okay.
At one time with Herzegovina or whatever it is.
Herzegovina, yeah, something like that.
Herzegovina or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, but it was this one here, this manuscript.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, 2005, Van Thong Nguyen was executed in Singapore for drug trafficking. Well, don't drug traffic in Singapore.
Yeah.
Don't do anything involving drugs in Japan. Just don't.
Yeah.
They don't mess around. 2013, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, the second film in the Hobbit series, directed by Peter Jackson, starring Martin Freeman and Ian McKellen, premiered in Los Angeles. Oh. Yeah. 2013, China launched its first moon rover mission.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Oh yeah, China launched its first moon rover mission. Oh, that's fine. 2014, comedian Bill Cosby resigned from the board of trustees of a U.S. university following renewed sexual assault allegations. I don't know if I am or am not allowed to say this on YouTube. Probably not, but yeah, you can read it. So I already said it, whatever. Yeah, so Bill Cosby, which I still think is innocent. You know, I think he just was the biggest name to fall during the Me Too movement, you know, which just got taken advantage of by liars so bad. It was disgusting.
I don't agree with what you're saying, and I don't agree that he's guilty. I don't know. He's found guilty, that's all I know. All I can tell you is he is the funniest man I ever saw in a live, you know, on stage.
On stage,
live.
yeah.
He did a one-man show.
Yeah, that's when he was just sitting in the chair or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. I just got locked up. I couldn't laugh anymore. I couldn't breathe. I was locked up completely.
Kind of like what happened yesterday with the flaming toilet.
Well,
but
that
worse.
was on the road to it, but this was even beyond that.
Well, at least I got to experience a taste. So.
Flaming toilet.
Flaming toilet.
The best part was when we saw it melted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, wait, is that the toilet? I'm just like, yeah. You're like, oh my god. It just looks like this lump. Anyway, 2014, Hong Kong pro-democracy activists clashed with police as they tried to surround the governor's headquarters, and some of the worst violence since the protests began. You know, fight for Hong Kong. Don't forget what happened to them, what's still happening to them.
Yeah.
And those poor guys.
Oh, I know.
Poor people out there. 2014, Stephen Hawking claimed that artificial intelligence could be a threat to mankind and spell the end of the human race.
It could.
And not in a Terminator-like situation, but in a situation where not really extremely violent, like, you know, like as we had this conversation when we were walking the other day. This is what my belief is, and maybe we can talk more about it, you know, during the peanut or during Edge of Disclosure tonight. But my belief is with all this AI and all these deep fakes and everything, it's going to push the entire world community into a point of distrust in which we no longer can work together, and then everything will come to a grinding halt, and then we'll just slowly relapse back into tribal nation states. You know, until we get back to the point where we figure out we have to work together again and slowly build back up from there. You know, that's what I think is going to be the most likely case scenario. So
that's possible.
And, you know, and maybe it's because, like, that's the most non-violent, you know, awful scenario. Like, It's not a war, it's not nuclear holocaust, it's not genocide, it's just we don't talk to each other.
I don't think AI would go like you're talking about ultimate war. They wouldn't need to if it got to that intelligence.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't need to kill us if they can just stop us from working with each other, and we just become docile, like, and we become a cattle, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
we become fodder.
Yeah.
Batteries, as they say.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I'm joking.
Anyway, 2014, the World Food Program suspended critical food aid to more than 1.7 million Syrian refugees in Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq, and Egypt because of lack of funds. Yikes. Ah, man, that's awful. Like, to do something good and then running out of funds, and then now they're just back to square one, you know?
It's a rough go.
Yeah. 2014, Vanuatu police arrested at least 20 people over the deaths by hanging of 2 men accused of sorcery.
Sorcery?
Wow. Vanuatu. That has to be some, you know, I'm not going to assume. It sounds African in nature, but you know what? Let me look it up, and I might be some kind of, like, racist guy just for thinking that. Oh, here we go. Okay, now I'm a racist. Vanuatu is a South Pacific Ocean nation made up of roughly 80, so it's Pacific Islanders.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, you know, like, I don't mean to stereotype or anything. Like, you know, am I wrong? Does it not sound African? Vanuatu?
Yeah, it does. The way you pronounce it.
It sounds like a language.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
that's the pronunciation of it. Yeah.
Vanuatu, you know? I mean, what can I say? I'm an ignorant, stupid-ass white guy. You know, what do you want from me? So, Vanuatu. Wait. Vanuatu? I can't even spell it right. Yikes. What else do we got here? 2015, attack on Social Services Center in San Bernardino, California, killed 14 and wounded 17. I kind of, sort of remember this? Question mark?
Oh, big time.
San Bernardino, wow. That's not far.
No.
2016, Donald Trump took a call with Taiwanese leader Tsai Ing-wen in a break from U.S.'s long-standing One China policy. Yeah. In 2016 as well, fire during a dance party at the Oakland warehouse killed 36. Well, I mean, somebody called 911, fire burning on the dance floor, whoa, as the song goes. Literally. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like, that's... Once again, you know, you go out grocery shopping, you go out to the mall, you go out dancing, and there's a collapse or there's a fire and you die in an area where you're supposed to be somewhere at peace. and enjoying yourself to some degree in one manner or another, and you die. That's awful.
Yeah.
You know? Well, death is awful no matter what, but like, you know, you go to a dance club and you end up cutting a rug too much, and it you know, the rug cuts back. So 2017, Egyptian lawyer Nabi al-Walsh sentenced to 3 years in prison for saying, oh God, for saying, quote, women wearing ripped jeans should be struggle snuggled, end quote.
What does snuggle mean? I'm sorry, I don't know the...
Wow.
Sorry, I don't know these terms.
Wow. Women wearing ripped jeans deserve to be that? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yikes. And you're a lawyer. Are you out of your mind? How did you get to be a lawyer and have that kind of mentality, bro? Yikes. 2018, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador was sworn in as the 65th president of Mexico. All right. Mm-hmm. I just decided to throw that in because, you know, why not? You know,
hey, they're a neighbor.
Tip the hat to Mexico every now and then. You know, why not? I like them. 2018 as well. Israeli police recommended Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife be charged with fraud and bribery. Wow. Huh. How quickly the tunes changed. 2018, Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari denied he had died and been replaced by a Sudanese imposter after ill health. That sounds exactly what like an imposter would say. Gee, yeah. You know? That's kind of funny though, that, you know, like things like this are even like they have to make an official statement, I am not an imposter.
Yeah.
It's like,
what does that tell you?
Well, gee, that sounds like you are.
Yeah.
You know, well, you know, that's you know, now that you bring it up, you know, I wasn't really like, you know, concerned about it.
But you know, when I think about it,
what's going on here? It's kind of weird. And last but not least, 2018, trade war truce agreed between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping at the G20 meeting in Argentina. Yeah. All right. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We're not just on YouTube or on Rumble, whichever one of those two you're watching us live on. We are also on BitChute, and we are on Odyssey, although Odyssey is only a select few because of cryptocurrency, system internal, yada yada semantics. Anyway, for your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream almost every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Central Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I was Xander.
Golden Loon.
And we also had Alice, you know, in the show a bit. And, of course, you viewer are you. Until you catch us next time we do this show, or if you're interested in some ufology, science, technology, conspiracy, paranormal, anything along those lines, we have The Edge of Disclosure Theod coming up this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific Time or 9 p.m. Central, or not 9 p.m. Eastern. What's with me in Eastern versus Central? 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Wow, my brain is dying. And then we also have the Peanut tomorrow at most likely 4 p.m. Pacific, which is 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Anyway, until you catch us tomorrow, or until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Alright, stop streaming.